specifically in Ultimate Random Night. It's eternal punishment. I'm going to assume you've never heard or played Ultimate Random Night, so I'm gonna quickly summarize this game before, I get into how difficult this challenge is. Ultimate Random Night is a FNaF fangame based off UCN, turning Ultimate Custom Night into a multiplayer ASIM game. I'm not tweaking, this game is a type of ASIM, ain't it? One guard versus 8 completely random animatronics. The guard has many tools to aid them to 6 AM, while the animatronics have their own unique quirks, which by themselves aren't too bad to deal with, but with a full team all working together, they can quickly overwhelm and hopefully end the guard's night. Reaching 6 AM means the guard wins, ending the guard's night before then means the animatronics win, which is usually the outcome in most games. This game also has many achievements and some fun secrets, and well, we won't be focusing on any of that. I'm going to be focusing on the 25 challenge nights that are in this game. But there's one challenge night with the least amount of wins, and also self-proclaims itself as the hardest challenge this game can offer. It's Eternal Punishment. Oh, and before I continue, I know Reward technically has the least amount of wins, but it's the newest challenge I added, so it's disqualified, got it. Alright, let me explain why this is the hardest challenge this game has to offer. This roster doesn't look too bad now, does it? Well, let me explain their kits, and maybe you'll see why this challenge calls itself the hardest challenge. Starting off at the top, Foxy. He spawns at Parrot's Cove. Foxy can slowly walk up the cove. As soon as he exits the cove, it'll put him into sprint mode, which lets him run, who would have guessed. If he runs into the door, he will knock on it, taking 1% of power. Every time he attacks the door in a given night, his power drain increases by 1%. He also has a boost meter. If the night guard is looking at the cameras for too long or too little, then the boost meter will fill. If it's empty, then whenever the guard even opens the cameras, Foxy will be stalled. But when it's full, the only way to cam stall Foxy is by looking at him at Parrot's Cove. Toy Foxy is similar, but works on a different meter. Spawning at Kid's Cove, they'll be stuck playing their music until the watch timer meter drains, which allows them to quickly move around the pizzeria. The watch time meter can only be filled by the night guard, by watching Toy Foxy on cameras. It takes about 13 seconds for it to empty and 3 seconds for it to refill. The guard can also extend it by an extra 7 seconds if they play the music chime on their camera. Also, activating the global music box slows your meter. If they enter the office, the noise meter will increase by 1 bar. If the noise meter maxes out, then they'll end the guard's night. The guard can kick them out, but that's only if the noise meter stays at 1 bar, and if they open cams for 6 seconds. Toy Foxy is really more of a support to the other animatronics, since they have an ability to make both the music chime and the audio lure fail if they are with an animatronic that gets countered by that ability. They also affect many noise-based animatronics by being near them, like making Toy Freddy angry or doing something to the music box. I really don't know. My guess is it decreases the music box faster than usual. Withered Bonnie. Their whole purpose here is to stall the night guard, giving the others a window of opportunity. Withered Bonnie's gimmick is scanning the guard, and if you're confused what that means, it's just what he does in FNaF 2. He can enter the office from basically anywhere. Once he enters, he increases the noise meter by 1. If the guard doesn't mask up fast enough, then he'll end the night. If you're wondering, the guard has 0.5 seconds to flip the mask on if he wants to live, and Bonnie scans for a total of 4 seconds. The guard isn't totally helpless during the scan, by the way, as he can still use the doors. Fun fact, Bonnie doesn't actually start the scan until you flip off the camera or the control panel. Don't lean on this for too long, as if he's in your office for long enough, he'll just force your camera down and kill you. Springtrap, who isn't the hardest to deal with, but his existence here makes the challenge way harder when paired with a certain other animatronic. He spawns at the back alley, and the best way to see if he's in your game is to audio lure 12 or 13, which the audio lure stuns him for between 16 to 22 seconds. That is the only way to deter him, as once his stun ends, you can audio lure him once again to an adjacent camera. His stun lowers based on how much noise there is in the office. Also, if you audio lure him while he's stunned, then he'll become immune to the lure for 31 seconds. So yeah, don't do that. Oh, and when he gets close to the office, he'll start blaring the FNaF 3 danger sound, and he can also vent. Phantom Puppet, generally just a better version of the puppet in this game, I'm not joking. Phantom Puppet gets easily countered if you just wind the box consistently. However, if you don't, Phantom Puppet can do many different things at many different levels of her box. If the box is at 60%, she could jump scare the guard leading to a random error. If the box is at 30%, she could stun the guard to between 4 and 12 seconds. And if the box is empty, she can end the guard's night. And the hotter the office gets, the faster she gets. Nightmare Freddy, more of a nuisance in this challenge, I'm not gonna lie, but he keeps you on your toes. Okay, future me here. So, Nightmare Freddy got reworked recently, which I didn't realize until I was getting footage of him. He can spawn as many Freddles as he wants anywhere on the map, including the hallway in front of the guard and the doors, which can indirectly buff a certain character, since to get rid of the Freddles, you have to beam your flashlight on them. Once 3 Freddles have been placed in one area, the Nightmare Freddy spawns. And here's a fun fact. If he places them behind the door while it's closed, you cannot flash them unless you open your door again. Alright, back to the regular script now. Nightmare BB will test you on your multitasking skills. Well, the others will too, but it's mostly just him. Other than a certain other character on this list. He always starts at the end of the hall in front of you. You've got to flash him near the big X to send him away. Every time you flash him when he isn't at the X though, you increase his boost meter, which just makes him slightly faster, I think. Every time you flash him, it does stun him for a short time, between 1 to 6 seconds. Or you can hold your light on him forever if you want, though that's kind of a waste of flashlight battery. Now, Nightmare BB can indirectly get buffed by Nightmare Freddy. If he summons his Frittles on him, it'll force the guard to give Nightmare BB more boost, because he has to hold the light to get the Frittles away. There's also a 50% chance that if you stop him on the X, the Nightmare BB will be able to change hallways. They don't have to change hallways if they don't want to, but they can, which doesn't change the minigame, but it forces the guard to do it on cams instead of the office, sort of. You can flash Nightmare BB from the office if he's near the X at the door. Oh, and you can also flash him if he gets past the X to send him away, so there's a lot of leeway given to the guard. If you forget he's in your night though, he can and will end your night very quick. Funtime Freddy, pretty much a power drainer like Foxy is. First things first, don't compare him to Funtime Freddy from the custom night version of him, because that trips up most people when going up against this version of Freddy. They are similar in how they work, but the audio cues are different. He spawns with Toy Foxy at Kids Cove, and can slowly walk through either hallways. Once he enters a hallway, he plays an audio cue. If you know this voice line, you might think he's gonna start throwing Bonnie at the office, but he isn't. That's just to let you know he entered a hallway. After 14 seconds, Funtime Freddy will be able to toss Bonbon into the office with a very obvious sound cue. This audio will change depending on which direction he throws him from, and where Bonbon is coming from too. It adds 1 noise to the noise meter, by the way, for 4 seconds. It doesn't matter where Funtime Freddy is, you can toss them from either the left door, the right door, the left vent, the right vent. The audio changes in whichever direction Bonbon is coming from. If Bonbon is attacking from a vent, then the audio gets an echo effect, so make sure to listen for that. Freddy can also enter the office, but he is very slow. And he does take power though when he's blocked by the door. If you're ever in an unfortunate event of having the door error while Funtime Freddy's in your lobby, then you could give him a control shock which should stun him long enough for you to fix the door error. Hopefully. One of the main reasons why this challenge is a pain to complete, Music Man. He is heavily buffed by most of the characters in this challenge. He can attack from either halls, and he drains some power by hitting the door. He drains some power when hitting the door. He also has a boost meter which slowly builds only when the noise meter is at 1. Do you remember how many characters increased the noise meter in this night? Not only that, the power gen is going to be used a lot since you can't make it to 5 AM without it running. And if you didn't know, the power gen adds 1 noise to the meter. So Music Man will slowly build a boost throughout your night. Music Man gains a significant amount of boost if he's near the audio lure. Keeping him away from Springtrap is a pretty big priority. The only way to drain his boost is by lowering the noise meter to 0, which requires both the power gen and the AC to be off. You could also use the global music box to lower his meter, but the global music box drains power really quickly. You are able to get an idea on how far his boost is by listening to how fast he plants his symbols. Once he starts destroying those symbols, then that means he's at max boost, which gives him a significant speed boost and allows him to enter the middle hall and end your night. OMC, Old Man Consequences. Anytime he's in the night, I just genuinely consider leaving. He makes challenge nights, hell, he even makes normal nights way harder just by existing. Call it a skill issue or whatever, but I hate this character. OMC is probably the most unique character in this game, with an incredibly powerful ability to stop the clock. OMC resides in the flip side, which the guard can access from the control panel. During the flip side, the guard is incredibly vulnerable to basically every other animatronic. The guard is able to use the doors during the flip side too, and all audio from the real world is louder, but it's inverted when you're in the flip side. OMC can choose 3 different quests to make the guard do. OMC can also play the minigames he gives to the guard. If the guard doesn't complete the given task fast enough, then OMC will pause the timer, extending the night until the guard finishes the quest. He isn't too painful if you stay on top of his quest when he gives them out, but he can be a night ender if you forget to check the flip side every now and then. OMC can also place down traps in the flip side, which, if the guard touches, it will kick him out of the flip side for about 10 seconds. On the bright side of this character, he has a secret you can obtain, and he's the only other character, other than the guard, that gets points when the night ends based on the materials you and the guard gained. I have described every character in this challenge night, and if you have great memory, then you should know that out of the 10 animatronics, only 8 can be in the night, due to the player cap being 9, and one of those is the guard. So, out of all 10 characters, which 2 would you hope for to be out of the night? Personally, I'd hope for Music Man, and maybe between OMC and Toy Foxy. Why Toy Foxy? Well, there's already like 700 things I have to keep track of. I'd rather those 3 seconds of watching him go towards literally anyone else. Even with those characters gone, this night is still management hell. Getting overwhelmed is incredibly easy. And don't forget the biggest thing. These are actual players controlling the animatronics. It's what makes playing Ultimate Random Night unique compared to ordinary FNaF games, or just fan games. This night has really punishing RNG. Even if you are incredibly skilled in the mechanics of this game, managing your noise level and making sure you don't power out is difficult. A good tip I could think of right now is counting who's in your night and who isn't, and make a strategy against them. But be flexible with your strategy. Since these are real players, there's a high chance that 1 or 2 of them just end up leaving the night and getting replaced by different characters. With enough trial and error, and with a dash of luck, you too might be able to beat this night. I was able to. Look, I got the proof right here. Now, I didn't record my night, and this was many months ago, but I was able to beat the night with 7 active animatronics. I think that black square you see is Nightmare Freddy that left, but I can't really confirm that. You just kinda have to believe me. Now, as much as I would like to show a recording of me beating this night a second time, that's just not happening. Not only am I incredibly rusty at this game, but I don't really feel like trying to beat this challenge a second time. I got it once, that's enough for me. If you want to see a winning run of this night, I'd say check out Grounded's recording of it. It is of an older version of the game. Look, the global music box isn't even there, which is what I used to win my match. But their one is an impressive showing of how a good guard plays like. Well, I think I said everything I wanted to. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. For the people that have played Ultimate Random Night, is this really the hardest challenge? Or do you consider a different challenge night harder? Drop a comment, I'll probably see it, and well, that's all for now. See you next time, which is hopefully not 3 weeks.